This is my VOD! I'm making a VOD! This is exciting. Taking my little thingy out of my face. Oh my god. I haven't made a VOD in a very long time. I'm stressed. Okay. I haven't used OBS in such a long time, and everything looks whack as fuck. They're like, we value your privacy. I don't know why they're talking about that. Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What am I calling this? I went to Disney? Maybe just like a chat. Chat with me. Oh, yeah. What's that? Hi, YouTube. Ick. I'm so scared. Let's get into this. So, all I'm gonna really talk about is just like a chat with me. This is a chat with me moment. As you can see, I'm back to streaming. I haven't streamed in like 2 months? Maybe a little bit over 2 months. I stopped streaming probably in November, and I took a break. I left all of my equipment in LA, and then I went home for the holidays. And I was like, well, if I don't have my equipment, I'm not gonna like film anything. Because I really didn't think I was gonna be doing any work from home. I was like, oh, I'm gonna relax, I'm gonna read books. And I mainly did relax and read books. But I have a vlog that I made that's gonna come out. That I'm like thinking in my head, edit that bitch. I kept on thinking in my head like, okay, people do Twitch streams about literally anything. I have so many things I could do. My last Twitch stream I did on rating manga. We still can do that. I am currently trying to make this Taylor Swift meme, but I like to give a lot of credit to my ADHD, especially right now. Because I don't feel like I ever give my ADHD a lot of credit. I always say shit like, oh, I just haven't been able to do it. Same with editing. I'm just like, oh, I just haven't been able to do it. I literally have a disorder. And I don't ever take it seriously enough. So when it comes to this Taylor Swift meme, when it comes to editing, I have a disorder and I should be nicer to myself. So I have that I could do on stream. But for now, I want to chat about what I did yesterday. I mean, I could chat about a lot of things, but I feel like I should start from one space to begin. And I guess what I can say is that, I mean, I went home for 2 months. We can start there. If you don't know, I am from the Bay Area. I'm from the bougie parts. I'm from Marin. If you've never heard of Marin, white, liberal facing, kind of just like a little closed-minded ideal kind of place, but like it's the Bay, so like how like no one thinks that they're that closed-minded unless you're from the Bay, and then you think, oh my god, they're fucking crazy closed-minded. I don't know why that's always where I go to when I come to talking about Marin, because Marin is so much more than politics. Like, if you don't even think about that, it's one of the most beautiful places in California. Hands down. But at the same time, I've not been to every part of California, so I really shouldn't speak. But, like, in the world of, like, affluent counties, I think it's number 1 in most affluent. Though, that will definitely, like, teeter off, depending on which communities are poppin'. I'm surprised it's not San Mateo, because San Mateo, I feel like, should be number 1, unless it is number 1 and Marin's been docked, because like it's usually Santa Clara, San Mateo, and Marin, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, it fits in that niche. It's a beautiful place. It's filled with beautiful hiking spots. It's very well protected by its community to like be a very natural spot. And it's very old. It's very, like, a lot of people that live there own their homes and they're old as fuck. There's not a lot of young people there. Like, that's a bunch of stuff I can give you on that. So that's where I went. I feel like you didn't really need to know all that. I feel like that's not that interesting, but maybe you do care about these places, because these are the places that people go to because they're like, oh my god, I would love to move my family here. Like, it's definitely one of those places where you would be like, oh my god, I'm so lucky that I was able to move here. Even though there's so many good and bad things that come with that place. And I mean, there's so many places like that. You know what I mean. But it's super overpriced. That's a very big thing. I kind of mentioned that it was like one of the most richest communities in California. That's also because you have to be rich because it's very expensive. And there's an ant on my wall and I want to kill it. How the hell did you get in here? Anyway, besides all of the exposition I just gave you, I was home. Let's think. I have a little spare room in my bedroom that I vlogged a little bit in. I grew up in one room in my house, and I kind of grew up in every single room of my house except like the master bedroom. So the room that I stayed in that month, those 2 months, I had lived there previously. The last person that lived in there was my sister, and that room has been empty for a pretty long time. Last time it was filled was my sister. My uncle stayed with us for a while, and he lived in there. And it's this room disconnected from the house because the garage is in between the room and like the main house. And it's a great big private room. Like, it's honestly bigger than my apartment. And I stayed there. I stayed there with my little kitty girls. And I had school. I didn't get off of school. I chose to go online for the month, like fully online. And I was studying culture studies. And yeah, I was doing school until that was over, and then I had 2 weeks off. Christmas, I was so late with my assignments. I just finished turning in all of my assignments for that class that finished like the December 22nd. I just finished turning in the last 2 assignments 2 days ago. So that's another example of how motherfucking ADHD I am. It's so fucked. But I honestly spent the first month fucking around and finding out. Like, I just kind of stayed in bed. I did homework, I stayed in bed, I vibed. Thanksgiving came and went. Like, that's how long I was there. And I was just reading my books. I was reading a lot of books. If I could remember what I was reading, because I feel like I always say that I'm reading books, but no one knows what I'm reading. It's kind of because I don't know what I'm reading at the same time. So, the biggest one that I think I read, I'm like trying to remember its name. I read one that was like, I'm trying to remember. I don't think I read A Man of Virtue yet. I'm pretty sure I read Man of Virtue in this time. I read The Reason Why Ray Liotta Ended Up at the Duke's Mansion, which is about to become an anime on Crunchyroll, which I'm very excited about. But if I had to give you a synopsis of this story, I would say that it's just like any other isekai. It's a bitch who came from another life, and she makes a contract to propose to a guy who she needs for sexist reasons. Like, oh, I'm a woman. I can't do anything without men. And the guy's like, I pity you. But you're also hot. Let's get married. It was definitely one of those. It was cute. One thing I didn't like about it, spoilers. If you don't want to hear this, get out of here for a second. I'll give a time code for when you can come back. To the YouTube people. I love how generous I am. I'm just like, oh, here's a time code. Like I have any editing brain power. But anyway, the one thing I don't like about this story is that there is a brief little splat of war and scary shit, and they don't really explain much about, like, how it happened, like, how she was being targeted so severely. Like, at some point, I don't want to spoil it too much, but, like, the war moments are, like, the strategy and the fighting in this story was, like, a little out of left field for me. It wasn't necessary either. It just felt like some sort of weak backbone to keep the main part of the story relevant, even though the main part of the story is interesting. Like, I like, all I ever need is a love story. Like, two people falling in love, two people liking each other, and two people being each other's best friends because they like each other. Like, that's all I really want. And then all these stories are like, oh, you need more conflict. How about we throw a war in? How about we throw a crazy love interest in? How about we throw in some best friend who has the same taste as the male lead? Or the female lead, even though it's usually male leads that have best friends that have the same crush on their girlfriends or whatever. So it was definitely one of those. We'll leave it at that. I mentioned A Man of Virtue. I'm pretty sure I haven't talked about this before, but I have talked about it on Instagram. But it's just under, like, a story. But that one's very cute. I'm trying to remember what it's about. I'm actually reading a story very similar to it right now, but it's two high school besties, or high school friends. They were high school friends. One of them had a crush on the other in high school, and they were kind of rivals. And then they meet each other in their late 20s/30s, and they're both working at the same company. And they're coming to realize, like, hey, you're sexy, fine, and beautiful, and I'm a little gay. I love those stories, and they're very sexy. Like, if you are not over 18, don't read this. Or, I don't even know if this is a thing. Like, can you get parental approval to read sexy stories? Is this a thing where you get parental approval to read those? I don't really know, because I'm just trying to, like, not get in trouble. I'm just trying to be a good role model when I'm, like, mentioning a sexy story, and maybe, like, some 16-year-old who has the same taste as I did when I was 16 comes over here and is just like, what do you mean it's a sexy story? What do you mean it exists and it's finished? What do you mean the epilogue's over? At least I'm pretty sure the epilogue is over. There's a couple series that I'm reading that are very similar, so I'm just like, cute. I don't remember which ones are which ones, which is why this is so hard. I did mention this series before. I mentioned XXX Buddy. That one's very good. That one isn't finished. That's an example of one that isn't finished. One that I just started reading just yesterday. Like, I started really reading it yesterday. Was Frenemies Thicker Than Blood. That one, I love it. I'm loving it because they have long hair and they're, like, sweet. But we're currently in that same drama that I don't care about, where it's like, oh my god, there's a war. So over war. I don't care about war. I haven't even gotten into Disney. But what else is there? I think I can, like, leave it at that for now. I think you kind of get it. I think I read Kidnapped Bride. That one's been good. I read Jinx. That one's not family friendly at all. It's a little too much for me, I would say, because I don't want to claim to be, like, super into, like, scary, sexy stuff, because this is a scary, sexy story. It's this guy who's, like, a wrestler or a boxer. I don't really know. And this PT, like, personal trainer, or was it called physical training? Physical therapy. This physical therapist gets hired to work for this particular boxer, and he thinks he's hot, and he's like, I'm gonna pay you $5,000 to come and give me a physical training lesson. And then he comes over and he's like, you thought this was physical training? That was just a cover for sexy time. And then he's like, what? That's completely unprofessional. And he's like, are you going to do it or not? Don't you want 5K? And he's like, of course I want 5K. So it's not set up to be cool. It's set up to be fucked. And the main guy is just like really sad in a really sad situation. But it's entertaining, I guess, is like the best way to put it. I think I look like a bad person reading it anyway, but I mean, you're not really a bad person because you're just enjoying a sexy little story. That's not real. But yeah, it's a sad one. It's a little scary, sexy. I don't really recommend it to people that don't like scary, sexy, or like get too distracted by the severity of the situation, like the reality of the situation, even though it's not reality. So I will say that. There's also another one called Love Jinx, and I've read this one once before, but I've never talked about that before, and I also stopped reading it randomly because I lost it, and that one is also waiting on a season 3. So yeah, these are a bunch of stories that I've been reading, and these are all the stories that I was reading while I was vibing at home. I was vibing at home on my winter break, and I was like, bleh, film school doesn't exist. Some movies I watched while I was on this vacation. I keep thinking of The Way of Water, like, Avatar The Way of Water. That was, like, the last one that I watched recently. Let's see. The one that I can remember, I watched a little bit of The Crown Season 5, not a movie, I'm sorry, but anyway. I'm also thinking of Harry and Meghan. Loved that. That is also not a movie. I watched The Wonder with Florence Pugh. Loved The Wonder. This is not a movie I watched then, but, like, I will just mention it, The Banshees of Inisherin, because I just want to, like, have the street cred to say that I watched it. I watched it, okay? I'm still trying to, like, force myself to watch The Menu and Babylon and Whale. Haven't watched those. Okay, we went to Wonder. I watched a lot of, like, Christmas movies. I watched Home Alone for the first time. I feel like that's kind of significant. I feel like people go like, whoa! You've never seen Home Alone? No. Macaulay Culkin motherfucking scared me when I was a little, like, tot. I was very scared. I did not appreciate his vibe. I thought that his adult self, when I was a child, looked frightening. And then I was like, I don't want to know what the child version of this person is. So I really just, like, ran away from the idea of ever watching it. And I was very bitchy and, like, angry and frustrated when I was watching it. I was like, this movie's stupid! Why is everyone hating on him? Why does the family suck? Like, if my family talked to me like this, I would be so mad and I would act the same way. Or, like, why did these people talk to the cops like this? Like, this was before we had ACAB. I couldn't help being like, fuck these people for pretending to be cops and then, like, going around in the neighborhood and robbing people's homes. How did we not start? I don't know. I don't know how to make that into a theory. I don't know how to, like, connect that to ACAB. It's not my job. I can't really do that. But yeah, it just wasn't my vibe. I thought the second one was more my vibe. And I honestly didn't watch that one very well. I honestly didn't watch either of them very well because I was very adamant to, like, not pay attention to them. But I did watch those. I watched Father the Bride 1 and 2. Very fun, very fun. I just like Steve Martin and Steve. Those two that hang out with Selena Gomez. Martin Short? Yeah. I like those two guys. I'm trying to think. I definitely watched a Harry Potter movie because that's tradition. There has to be other things. I know there is. Oh, I saw Wakanda Forever. That was definitely there. I watched it with my dad. We went to this theater that we always go to. And it was so cold at the end of November. And I was dying in that theater. We both were dying. My dad's nose was frozen solid. I had a blanket and I was frozen. And it was one of those, like, luxury seating recliner things. It was so cold. It was literally like 37 at the time. And then somewhere in December it got up to 50 and you were like, huh, what the fuck? So winter was very short. Like our California winter was short as fuck because there was a very annoying point in November, early December, where it was like 37 and I was really not vibing. And now it's currently at a nice, at least at like as low as it goes is maybe a high 40. But right now we're sitting at 50s. And especially now that I'm back in LA, bitch, it's toasty here. It's toasted. I'm obsessed. My mom drove down specifically so we could hang out in the warm weather because we did not want to have to deal with the bullshit of Bay Area cold. Because we're babies. We are babies that would never survive the Midwest. We could never do that. I could never do that. She could never do that. We're children, and we pay a lot of money to stay here, to stay warm. So that's what we choose to do with our time and money. I guess we can move on from movies because I'm running out of thoughts. Oh, I went on hikes. I went on a couple hikes. I didn't do that much hiking. I was hoping that I was going to do a little bit more hiking than I did. But I wouldn't say I didn't do that little of hikes. I'd probably say that I went on like maybe 5 or 6 in the course of 2 months, which is not a lot. I understand that. But I was reading. So I'm sorry. I was also playing a lot of Fall Guys. A lot of Pokemon Unite. I also hung out with friends. I do have friends. Oh my god. I didn't see them as much as I wanted to because I was doing school. I have all these reasons, guys. I have all these reasons to offer you. I was doing all these things. But I did see some of my friends. I saw one friend twice who's now in Chicago. I saw one friend like twice. And they're going back to Colorado. I saw a bunch of friends. Total, I think I saw like maybe 5. But I don't have 5 besties. So it was just like a couple besties and then 4 other people. But it was very good to see all the other people because how often do you get to see your friends, the people that you went to high school with, or the people that you've known for your whole fucking life? Like, I got to see many of those people, which it just like makes you feel good. I didn't recognize one of my friends who I like to think of as an acquaintance more than a friend, but when I saw him, I was like, random white guy, and I realized who he was. I was like, ah! It was a lot. I was being very dramatic because I was in shock, but looking back on it, I am definitely team Miss Too Much. I don't know if I like the angle. I'm gonna zoom it. Do we like this better? I need your approval. What else did I do? Oh, I saw my sister. My brother came into town. My brother lives in SoCal like I do. So he came to the Bay to vibe with us for a bit of Thanksgiving? Christmas. And that was good to see him. My sister has children, so I've always been an auntie. I've been an auntie my whole life. Like, the moment I was born, I was an aunt, because my siblings are so much older than me. But I do have some nieces and nephews that are very young. And one of them is 7. Which, it blows my mind all the time. Like, I haven't seen him before this trip in a year, because the last time I saw him was for Thanksgiving. And I was thinking about it in, like, September and October and November of, like, I haven't seen him in a year, and he's gone from 6 to 7 in the blink of an eye. Like, he's gonna grow up in like, a matter of seconds, and I won't have been there. And it's just, like, it's a very scary feeling. And it kind of, it's, like, it's the only kind of time where I'm, like, oh, I must be responsible as an adult and see children and, like, be a good aunt or a good family member or whatever. Because you don't do that with adults very often, where you're just like, oh, my sister's turned 40. I have to go see her before she turns 41. You know what I mean? You just kind of, like, let those people vibe. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I wonder if this has looked like that the whole stream. I don't know. That would be really ugly. I hope that didn't look like that the whole stream. I probably should have checked. I'm actually curious. And I want to look at my stream. I don't understand how Twitch works because there's like the Twitch management app. And then there's the Twitch app. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, I don't know what that means. I'm just gonna go to the Twitch app and see what's going on. Let's see. I clicked on a button to see if things would happen. I don't think anything will happen. Okay, we're good. Okay, so it doesn't really matter if you touch your screen thing. It doesn't really do anything. That's good to know because I don't want this to look busted. So I saw my nephew. I saw my niece, who's 2, and she's so cute. But that's because she looks like me. When I was a kid, I was very cute. But my sister has always had cute kids. I should shut my motherfucking mouth. Oh my god, so stupid. Shouldn't say certain things. I shouldn't, like, some things aren't for the internet. But just know that I've been a piece of shit. Just know that I'm the family member who was an asshole. Oh my god, we have to move on. We have to move on from children. I saw my other sister. So I have 4 siblings. And the sister that I'm talking about has children. She's like the older one. And then I have another older sister who's 27. And she's just like me, but old. And of course we're different. We're very different, but we're also similar. And I saw her a bunch. I hung out with her a lot. It was so good to see her. I don't get to see her very much. And we watched, The Night House. I wanted to mention that movie. That was the one I was thinking of, The Night House, with Rebecca Hall. That was very good. I highly recommend The Night House if you're interested in watching spooky little scary movies. I was recommended it because I love The Haunting of Hill House, and my sister's boyfriend is kind of into film a little bit more than I am. And by a little bit, I mean maybe a lot bit. But I'm not that confident in my, like, bragging rights. But because I paid for film school, I, like, feel like I have the qualifications to say that I like film and I'm, like, a film buff. But when I meet other people that don't pay for film school and they're also really obsessed with film, I get a little, like, insecure. Because I'm like, this person doesn't have to learn all these things, but they do anyway. Just like how I wish people would be with me because I know so much manga shit. Because I know so much shoujo manga shit, I want every person out there to be fearful of who I am and what I know. Because I know everything. I know everything there is to know about anything in shoujo manga. Like, fear me, hear me roar. So that's pretty much it on Marin. I saw my besties. Hello, my besties a couple times. I did miss a birthday to go to another birthday. And also just to, like, be in Marin and to be comfortable. If I had known that my first class of the semester was going to be online, I literally could have stayed in Marin until literally today, because my next class is in person on Thursday. So I could have literally been in Marin all this weekend. But we came in early so I would feel comfortable and adjusted. And also my schedule hadn't been confirmed whether or not I'd be in person or online, so I was like, okay, I should come in early just in case. And the past couple of days, we went shopping, we went to IKEA to buy something because I'm building a shelf that I want to put my Switch on for my TV. And I bought a couple of things there besides that. Like, I bought a bottle that I want to make kombucha in because I'm quirky. And I'm from Marin. Like, if you don't know that stereotype of California girl, oh, my back. Ow! you don't know that stereotype of California girl, I try to be her. I am a pick-me. In that regard. In many regards. Anyway. I bought a bottle so I can make kombucha because I want to be crunchy. That's the word. Oh, my camera's dying. Okay. Let me turn off my camera. I'm gonna turn off my camera. Oh, you know what's so fun? One of my besties bought me my new Canon, or not my new Canon. She bought me a tripod. And I'm using it as we speak, and I love it so much. Oh my god, you're seeing everything. I don't want you to look at that. That's so not good. Okay. I should have a picture to put there. That's so embarrassing. I didn't want you to look at my OBS. I hope there's not anything on my OBS that's like self-incriminating. I don't know any of the hotkey things, so yeah, I'm kind of a flop. But your girl is trying. I'm trying. The one negative thing about having your mom in town and staying with you is that she has her own technologies that she has to charge and take care of. She has like 4 phones. She has her own internet that she wants. She has her own MacBook. Like, she just has things that she needs to do her work and live her life. Oh no, my Alexa unplugged somehow. I don't know. Alexa unplugged. I don't know how, but she did. Okay. I hope she'll be okay. So now all of my plug-in thingies are fucked up and makes my life a little bit harder. But not by much. It's not anything that sizable. Oh god. This tripod journey is a little embarrassing. Trying to... this is difficult. No! This is gonna be a shit show, guys. I should unplug. Oh my god. The one bad thing about this tripod is that it's super tall. Ah! It's so tall and I'm so short, so I can't reach it. I'm having a really hard time working. I'm having a really hard time being a film girl who uses her beautiful camera to make shit. Okay, I'm gonna tighten my tripod so it stops moving. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful, dirty rich. Dirty, dirty rich. Dirty, dirty rich. Beautiful, dirty rich. Okay. We're coming back. We're coming back, guys. And it's all coming back to me now. Baby, 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 if you touch me like this, and if you don't plug in your camera, you'll see that you need more time before you're ready to come back to stream. And you also cropped your head out of frame. And you're zoomed too much in and your camera's not level. But it didn't matter before, so why would it matter now? Okay. She's back. Okay. I'm back. What were we talking about, guys? I don't remember. We drove. I was saying that we went to IKEA. We went to Costco, bought me groceries. My mom literally brought maybe 8 bags of groceries from her house, because, fun little fact, this is so personal. This is not like anything. This is, I don't know. Anyway, my parents love shopping. My dad has an addiction to shopping for food. So, my mom was like, hey, we have all this food that we can't eat on this lifetime. Please take this food. I feel like that's not like that crazy. It's not like, it's just like an annoying thing. It's like a red flag. My red flag is that I'm addicted to grocery shopping. That's my dad if he was here. Oh my god. So she brought me 8 bags of like groceries, which is like grains. She brought me pancake batter. She brought me powdered meat, guys. Who the fuck owns powdered meat? I've never heard of powdered meat except for like military or like astronaut food. What? I heard about it. I tried reading the label, and it doesn't say anything about meat. My mom said it has something to do with about meat, and I don't understand what the label's saying because it's just like a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Okay, so there's that. Sorry, I'm trying to remember. So we did all of that. My cats got adjusted. My cats are back home. I take my cats everywhere I go. I don't know. Life is good. Life is good. Life is just so good. I'm just happy that we're back home. And my cats are vibing. I don't know where they are, but I think they prefer it that way. What else? We both drove separate cars, so she has to drive back. And that's like, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, even though I do it all the time. We went to Disneyland. I guess we can start talking about Disneyland. I'm just like, Disneyland is so confusing that I don't really feel comfortable talking about Disneyland without like being a professional on it, because I'm definitely not a professional Disneyland bitch. I'm a little frightened of Disney adults because I'm frightened of Disney as a monopoly and as a conservative brand, because they don't they have a bad history and they are frightening. What does it say? Hi, I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views, chatbots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Auto on, incredibly flexible and convenient order management panel. Everything is in your hands. Turn it on/off/customize. Go to dogehype.com. You didn't spell dogehype.com as a link. I don't know why you didn't. Maybe it's because you probably shouldn't. Maybe it's to like accommodate for people that don't want this kind of commentary in their chat. Like, they don't want links, and like you get banned if you use a link. I think the one great thing about Twitch and like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok is that when you're your own, or like even sex work, these are all general contractor jobs where you don't need someone to represent you. You don't need a company to promote you. It's definitely very helpful, but you don't need those types of things, and you shouldn't have to pay anybody in order for your success to happen, because what matters is if people want you as your product. So looking at this, I'm just like, thank you so much for wanting to take money that I don't have in order to maybe help me. But as far as I can tell, this seems like a ploy to take advantage of people, and that's not really something I would be interested in without any proof otherwise. And also, I think based off of the news that we've been listening to for God knows how long, because I can't keep a concept of time, that we shouldn't be trusting cryptocurrencies. So I think that something that crypto should learn is, if you're going to be schemy and nasty, don't use the name of the brand that already is known to be schemy and nasty. Create something new. It's like those people that hack your Instagram account and they're like, oh my god, I got into crypto and I earned $17,000 in one day. I actually did fall for one of those. So this is coming from someone who is incredibly gullible. Like, you are trying to take advantage of people, and it works, and that's scummy. And there are so many people that have gotten their accounts hacked that are my friends, and then I report their account, and then I tell the account that they're scum, and then they block me, and then I have to wait for my friend to get their account back for them to unblock me, and like the whole fucking spiel. So I'm not interested. I have too many opinions on that for this conversation to go any further. And I said my piece. I can talk about that all day, but can I talk about Disneyland all day? I don't think I can, but I will try. Okay. So Disneyland, frightful, scary, not my vibe. I loved Disney as a kid. I loved, like, what really got me into Disney as a kid was Zoella and Tyler Oakley doing the 10-second Disney Channel song, like, guess that Disney Channel song challenge. Like, that got me into Disney. That got me, like, to listen to all the music. It got me to feel like I was someone cool, like a popular nerd vibe, because that's what they gave. They gave popular nerd energy. And that's the only reason I've ever gotten into Disney. And then I kind of hopped out because I got bored and because Disney doesn't make a lot of things all the time that are my vibe. And so I was like, okay, well, anime produces more content. Let me go over there. And I did do that. But anyway, I really wanted to go to Disney. I've always wanted to go to Disneyland as like an LA girl. Like, now I'm an LA import. My rite of passage to living in LA is to go to Disneyland. When I was a kid, like 11 years old, I went on a college tour with my sister to visit all the UCs. And we went to Disneyland on that trip. And that trip was a shit show. I remember we were, I mean, I was a trash child. 11 was the year that I had like a diary that I wrote on one of those huge calendars that you get from like a stationery store. And, like, you can write, like, your schedule on the day. And I would write in each individual day what awful thing happened to me that day. Because something awful always happened to me every single day because I was a victim. And I was like, I hate my dad for coming into my room and throwing my shoes that are filled with mud on my bed. He's so disrespectful of me, even though I'm the one who left them on the carpet in the living room, in the middle of the living room. Like, that was my era. My era of... I don't remember much. I think I've always had an issue with weight. I bet in one of those I wrote like, I went from 113 pounds to 127 pounds in 6 months. The world is ending. I'm gonna die. And the world kind of always has felt like it's ending in my life. So it's like, and? But, I mean, everything was a disaster is my point. I don't know. I could really just... If I had the calendar with me, I'd be able to explain the drastic measurements of it all, but I don't, so I can't help you. I'm trying to think. But anyway, yeah, I went to Disneyland. It was a shit show because I was a trash child. My sister is a trash child. We are trash children, and my mom does not know how to, like, wrangle us. And we were children and minors, and it's just like... At some point, you just piss your parents off so much that they are like, okay, let's just go back to the hotel and sleep. Because it's not worth fighting. Like, we did not have the communication skills in 2013 to be able to handle this shit. So I wanted to go there as an adult, as someone who isn't trash all the time. Someone who, like, can spend their own money. Someone who can make their own decisions without, like, being told, no, you can't do that. So, yeah. My mom and I went. It was raining yesterday, and I decided to wear rain boots, which was my first mistake, because the rain boots that I own do not have inserts, and the bottom don't have soles, so it was a non-starter. Like, I don't know why they don't have soles, because, like, there's, like, a fabric sock that's sewn to the boot, and then underneath it, there's, like, a grid of rubber. Like, a rubber grid that, like, grinds on your heel. And it's awful. It's the most uncomfortable shoe I own. And I own many uncomfortable shoes. I find Doc Martens to be uncomfortable for me because I always get blisters and, like, my feet feel really flat. I have these beautiful Vagabond loafers that I also find really hard to walk in at a certain point, but I can walk in those for a while. I could probably walk, like, 2.5 miles in those vagabonds, but once you hit 3.1 mile, in these boots, however, you walk 1 mile, you're fucked. Like at most 2, and you're just fucked. So I was fucked at Disneyland, and the lines were so long. I was expecting it to not be a shit show because it was a Monday and because there was so much rain. And there were so many people in there in the morning, and we probably went on 1 ride, maybe 2. I honestly think it was 1, and I gave up. I was like, my feet really hurt. I can't walk anymore. My mom said something that pissed me off, and it set me off, and I got really upset. And then I was very hungry. I was hangry. And I was like, fuck Disneyland. I can't do this. This is too hard for me. Disneyland is frightful as well. Like, the amount of IPs that you're surrounded by that are billion-dollar companies is a scary thing. You've got Marvel over there. You've got Spider-Man. You've got a Doctor Strange, like, figurine. It's just so intimidating. And it's like something that you can't really comprehend. Like when you're in film world and you see all these IPs everywhere and like all these amusement park rides, and it just overwhelmed you. And I was so overwhelmed, and I couldn't handle it. But then my mom, bless her heart, like sat me down, like I bought food. I bought more food. I cried it out. She gave me her inserts to her shoes because her shoes weren't made by the devil, and she had soles underneath those inserts that she had, and she let me borrow those inserts. And after that, I had eaten. I felt better. She apologized for making me cry. And we were like, okay, we can do this. We are an A team that can survive Disneyland. So we got back into gear. And we're like, okay, let's try to keep doing this ride shit. We went on the Guardians of the Galaxy Tower Terror vibe. That one was probably my favorite. I liked the vibes of it a lot, and I miss the Tower of Terror. We went on the Cars Radiator Springs ride. That's the only ride I remember doing back when I was 11. Because I feel like we bought the tickets to go to Disneyland and California Adventure, and we spent all day at Disneyland. And I remember thinking to myself as an 11-year-old, God, I fucking hate Disneyland. And then I went to California Adventure and did the Radiator Springs ride and was like, oh my God, I fucking love Radiator Springs. Next time I come to Disneyland, I'm only going to California Adventure. Which is what I did this time, because I was like, I didn't get to experience the full California Adventure. And I can't remember Disneyland. Like, all I remember is the Radiator Springs ride. I don't remember anything that I did at Disneyland, because I feel like it was the same situation of like really long rides and stress the fuck out. But in that case, it was summertime, and it was like 94. My mother got heat stroke. My sister and I both got crazy bad tans from that day. So that's what I remember. And I remember having on like booty shorts and like a t-shirt and like flip-flops or Toms. I remember staring at my sister's pale toes. I don't remember the rides at all. And I didn't remember anything about California Adventure except for the Radiator Springs thing. My mom remembered all of it, and I was like, this bitch has a brain. And I was too young to understand what was going on. So, anyway, I digress. But we went on the Ferris wheel after Radiator Springs, I think. We waited in line for this arcade game where you like shoot things and you get points for it. I don't know. It was Toy Story themed. It was very cute. We waited in line twice for that because one time we went there and they were like, oh, sorry, the thing is broken down, so it doesn't work. And so we went to do something else, and then we came back, and then we waited like 40 minutes, and we finally got to do it. And that was like a children's ride. That was very silly. We did not have to actually do that. for our entertainment. And then that kind of like ruined the morale because we were like, we also thought it was the Incredicoaster coaster because we didn't know what the roller coaster at California Adventure was called. And so we were really confused because we thought that was the line for the roller coaster. We did one of those like very standard swingy things, and they played the and the song was great, and the ride was so short. The ride was like 30 seconds long, but it was very cute, very cute. But we've all been on one of those rides if you've ever been to any amusement park, like Knott's Berry, Six Flags, the other Six Flags, California Adventure, whatever. You've been on one of those. Any fair, have you ever been to a county fair? You've been on one of those. I really wanted to try like fancy food at Disneyland because that was like the thing that really spoke to me because IPs are scary, but food isn't scary. So I wanted to try food. But like I told you, I got really emotional and sad and started to cry. And I needed to eat in that moment. Otherwise I was going to kill people. So we ended up going to Boudin and I had clam chowder and I was sad that I had this space in my stomach for food and it wasn't going to be like some bougie thing from some bougie restaurant. But then at that point of like riding the little swingy thing ride, we went on the Incredicoaster. That was very fun. And we were waiting out the water show that was coming on at 9:00, which was very good. We saw the water show. But as we were waiting that out, we got a reservation at the Lamplight Lounge. And we got in really quick. It was like a 10-minute reservation. And we ordered some food. My mom got jilted both times that she ordered food because she went to Boudin and ordered a salad. And she said the salad tasted like shit. And the menu didn't say that the salad had onions. And my mom does not like onions or garlic. She doesn't eat either of those, which makes her diet like super difficult at restaurants. But because they never mentioned that it had onions in it, she was pissed. And then the salad sucked. And then we went to this Lamplight Lounge, which is like a bougie vibe. Like, it's a beautiful restaurant. They had chairs that were like seared and branded to have characters on the back. I wish I had pictures, but it was beautiful. These beautiful, beautiful chairs. I don't think I took any pictures of the chairs, but I should have. No, I didn't. Oh, but they're beautiful. There was this Coco chair. There was this beautiful Wall-E chair. My favorite Pixar movie is either Finding Nemo or Coco, but it's kind of Finding Nemo. They had like this whole wall dedicated to it. There was this beautiful wall that had Danielle Feinstein, like a picture of Danielle Feinstein in the corner, and I got really excited because she's the only bitch I care about in the entire Pixar franchise. I do have that picture. Is the only thing of importance to me because I don't really care about anybody. I used to care about John Lasseter, but then I heard he was a piece of shit, and then I was like, fuck, I've been betrayed again. Okay. I've kind of told you my whole life story, bitches. I don't know what's going on. The coasters were cute. My hot cocoa was cute. We found this beautiful cowboy boot that I was obsessed with. And I took a picture with this cowboy boot because I was like, oh my god, this cowboy boot is so cute. Oh my god. It's a little baby child cowboy boot. I was so excited. I was like, yes! Yes! Go girl! Go bestie! You cowgirl boot fantasy! When we went on the Incredicoaster, I made a very funny face, and my mom had her hood up, and I thought that was really cute. Look at us! We're so cute! I feel like the face that I made was, like, so stupid and funny. So, I would have bought this picture, but then I took this picture, so I was like, oh, it's fine. I don't need to buy it. But it's such a good picture. I'm, like, very happy with how it turned out. No. I braided my hair, my mom's hair in one of the lines. I had like a light bit of makeup on, but it was raining so much. And my makeup did stay. I had like model makeup, like the concealer, the blush, highlighter, mascara, brows. And I looked great. It was fabulous. And when I mean model makeup, I don't mean that I looked like a model. It's just like, that you understand what that means, I hope, right? Like, it's just concealer, blush, just minimal. I did put on I put on a tinted sunscreen. Wow, bitch. Talking is hard. What else went on? Took a bunch of selfies. Oh my god, look at this coaster! I was obsessed with this coaster. I need to get a better picture of it. Yeah, this is the better picture. Look at this coaster. Oh. Llorona, llorona de azul celeste. Da cla. Ugh. I got a hot cocoa. My mom got a hot cocoa. She looked really cute in these photos, but I'm not going to show you my mom. I can show you me. She took these pictures of me, and I was like, these are ugly. I don't look happy enough. Because my mom looks so good in her pictures. And I was like, take a picture of me again. And then I looked even worse. Let's see. Well, I thought I looked worse. I actually look the same. I look fine. I'm trying to find like an ugly picture to show you that I looked worse. This one's kind of a vibe though. So I didn't look ugly. I just kind of like was upset. I was just like feeling emotions. I was just emotional damage. And I got a really beautiful picture of a wall. I wish I took pictures of those leather chairs, because when am I ever going to go back to motherfucking California Adventure? Bitch, I literally would never go back if they didn't have this water show. I'm going to show it to you in a second, but I must show you this beautiful, like, clay bird. I have no idea what this bird is made out of, but it's beautiful. It's like a concrete look. This is like a 3D model, and it looks like an image. It's beautiful. Like, the amount of craftsmanship that Disneyland California Adventure has blew my mind. Like, if I had anything to say about Disneyland California Adventure, it is the most high quality amusement park I have ever seen in my life. Because you go to Six Flags, you go to Waterworld, you go to Knott's Berry Farm, or the water park. Like, you go to so many amusement parks, and they're dirty, they're a little run down, you want to, like, wash your hands right after, because it looks bad, so it makes you feel like it's gross, and it probably is gross anyway. Disneyland does not feel gross. Disneyland feels super clean, Disneyland feels really modern and beautiful, and Disneyland is, like, very, like, artistic. The amount of high quality they put into making Disneyland look beautiful is kind of insane. Like, you don't see that kind of production just anywhere. I went to this beautiful pumpkin hayride, or Halloween hayride, in Los Feliz for, like, Halloween. And that production for that hayride is beautiful. But, I mean, it's also in the middle of Los Feliz Park, and you know Los Feliz Park is, like, kind of nasty. It's not that nasty, but it is definitely nasty. And then you go to Disneyland and you're like, this feels like a whole different country. And I've been to other countries and thought, this looks just like home. So it just kind of like blows your mind. It's just, there's so much love and attention to detail in this place. And it's fucked up. It's a little fucked up. Look at this. Look at this wall that was at the Lamplight Lounge. Those are just like a million little balls. Dude. Ugh! It's just so good. I was so impressed. I also had plans to go hang out with a friend this day, and I had to cancel because I was so emotional damage that I was like, I'm not going to leave the park early, and I'm also not going to hang out with you because I'm only bullying my mother right now, and I'm trying my hardest not to be an asshole to my mother. There's no way that I can get away with that with a friend. Like, you're not supposed to abuse your friends like you do with your parents or your siblings. You can't do that. So I was like, okay, I definitely shouldn't hang out with people right now because I will emotionally batter them and kill them with my bad vibes. I am a murderer. Oh, I have to show you this water park thing. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. This was like for like maybe 30 minutes. It was incredible. There was fire. I didn't take too many pictures of that, but I was just enjoying the vibes in person. I didn't want to like take too many videos. I just got that for like a little bit of B-roll. It was so beautiful. I would go back to the park just to watch that water show again. It was like the World of Color water show or something. It was incredible. And we hadn't seen that the last time we went to Disneyland or California Adventure. And I thought that they had fireworks. I don't know if that's true. I remember when I was 11 and I went to Disneyland, I was like, oh my god, I really want to see the fireworks. And we were so fucking fucked up after the heat and whatever that we left really early and went to our hotel and vibed. And I remember thinking like, whatever, I'm not willing to fight with people over a fucking fireworks show. Like, I don't have the patience to do that. That was like my 11-year-old brain. And now that I'm an adult, I don't have to fight people. I don't have to like... People take me seriously, and also I have power, and also I went there during the winter, so it's like, I'm way more leveled up. I'm way more ready for this. And even though I was fucked, like, feet were fucked, stomach was fucked, vibes were fucked, we survived. That water park show literally, like, changed the game. And right after the water park show, it started pouring rain. It started pouring rain. It was pouring rain in LA, but Anaheim was just like a little bit of a drizzle. Sometimes it would go away. Sometimes you get a big drizzle, but then it'd go away. But after the fireworks show, like after the water show, like clockwork, it hit to heavy rain. Okay, guys, time to go home. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Happy Disney. And then we drove home and listened to Disney songs, and I sang in the car, and I was like... And at last I see the light. That song didn't come on. But, we love Reflection. Oh my god, I did such a good job, but I don't think I can do it, right? Oh my god, let's pull up the lyrics, because I don't want to get copyright strike for being a fucking goddess. I don't want to get in trouble for swearing either. But this and that are different. I was just listening to Hassan talk about how his previous videos have gotten monetization blocks over his cussing, and he was freaked out about it. And then you hear Ethan Klein on Fear and podcast be like, dude, you weren't here for Apocalypse. You didn't understand the struggle of having your previous 200 videos in your catalog get demonetized after they'd been monetized for 5 or 6 years. That was so funny. Put Hassan Piker in his place for being a child. I don't care if you're 31. You are still an internet babe. And I love Hassan Piker. I don't want to admit that. I want to have my reputation of, I hate men. Oh, wait. Sorry, that's my cat. I'm just like, which one is it? I don't hate men. But I would like my reputation to be a man-hater because, I don't know, it would be entertaining for me to be a man-hater and then be like, haha, I'm not a man-hater, you guys are idiots. I just want to prove people wrong. Yeah, the light's going down, so I need to give you a little bit more to work with. Okay, we're going to sing the song by Leah, that's sung by Leah Salonga. So this is the songwriters were David Zippel and Matthew Wilder, but I thought the songwriter was Christina Aguilera. So, sue me. But anyway, I'm a little stressed out. I'm a little scared. I'm scared. I don't think I'm going to do a good job. Oh no, I'm scared. When I'm in the car with my mother, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Oh Look at me. I will never pass for a perfect bride or a perfect daughter. Can it be? I'm not meant to play this part. Now I see that if I were truly to be myself, I would break my family's heart. Who is that girl I see staring straight back at me? Why is my reflection someone I don't know? Somehow I cannot hide who I am, though I've tried. When will my reflection show who I am inside? Okay, I'm done. Ugh. Did you hear that? It sounds so congested. I'm so embarrassed. I just don't want to go there anymore. Meow. Okay, that's Emma. I thought you were Pepper. I can't tell my cats apart sometimes. That's an Emma. Pepper's missing. I don't know where the fuck that bitch went. My mom said I should take voice lessons after singing this song, so hey. I know it's my mother who said it, but a compliment is a compliment. A win is a win. A win is a motherfucking win. So, when I'm not scared, I can try. I can try to do that. Sorry, I saw some funny little news article title. Kardashians fans disturbed as Kim's daughter North, 9, turns into Kanye West in TikTok and slam inappropriate detail. A daughter can't cosplay as her father for fun. What's allowed anymore, guys? What's allowed anymore? Why can't children just be children? Like, why do children have to get bullied on the internet? It's a waste of breath. I got recommended one movie that I want to talk to you guys about. Ooh, I want to read this article to you guys. If I had it, maybe I can, like, pull this up on my laptop. But I do care about this article. I feel like this would be interesting. Let's pull this up and send it to myself. Okay. Okay. Let me adjust myself. I feel like I was going to look something up, but I'm not remembering. Oh, I think my favorite Disney movie, if you guys were curious, it would probably be The Hunchback of Notre Dame or Mulan, and that's my answer. Oh, this is not relevant. I was told to watch, that's what I was looking up. It was In Bruges. I was told to watch In Bruges because I love Three Billboards, and I just watched The Banshees of Inisherin. So I was telling someone about that, and yeah. Okay, let's pull up that article. Oh my god, I'm gonna really piss myself. I'm gonna pee. Oh my god, so many people. So many people text me. I'm so popular. Okay. I wish I knew game keys. Okay, let's move my camera over here. I heard Ludwig tell Cutie Cinderella that, like, this is, like, so dangerous of a way to manage your stream, and I feel embarrassed by that. I also heard that from Maya, and I was like, that's how I manage my stream, guys. What's the right call? What am I supposed to do? I would like to know the call for figuring out how to make your how to like screen record your desktop. without showing OBS. I wish I knew how to do that, but apparently, like, it's really hard to, it's like, it's impossible to screen record on your MacBook without showing OBS. That's only a feature for Windows computers, which I think it's fucked up, because why do I pay $3,000 for a computer if I can't stream without OBS showing? I find that annoying. But anyway, so it was this article. Prince Harry's comments on Archie's skin color in Oprah interview were misinterpreted. Why does it look like this? It looks like it, like, in the iPhone format. Maybe it is in the iPhone format? I don't know. Okay. One of the most exploitative claims from Prince Harry and Meghan's 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey that aired on CBS that were controversial and concerns about how dark their son Archie's skin color would be. But Prince Harry said that he does not believe the comments about the potential skin color of the couple's first child were based on racism. In an interview with Anderson Cooper that aired on 60 Minutes Sunday, Harry said that neither he nor Meghan believed that the comment or experience or opinion was based on racism, but instead on unconscious bias. I feel like that's pretty generous. Okay. Harry also said that the way the British press reacted to the news about the skin color conversation was fairly typical, like it was a hunt for the royal racist. So, I feel like this... I understand where he's coming from so far. I mean, he's so well connected to it. It's this little fucking family. This is a family. But I think if you speak to the majority, maybe not all, but the majority of mixed-race couples around the world, that the white side of the family would wonder whether talking openly about it amongst themselves what their kids are going to look like, he said. The key word here was concern, as opposed to curiosity. Okay. But the way that the British press, what they turned it into was not what it was. That quote is very hard to read. In this interview with Winfrey, which was the first Harry and Meghan gave after stepping away from the royal duties the year before, the couple discussed a range of topics, including their treatment in the press, Meghan's thoughts about suicide while she was in the royal family, and a miscarriage. In the months when I was pregnant, all around the same time, so we have a tantrum in the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born. Yeah, I feel like we kind of all know this because this is kind of old news. If you never watched that CBS interview, don't feel bad, because I had a really hard time finding it, and I had to, like, go to my neighbor's house who had cable and be like, hey, give me your TV. So, if you're not me, who exploits opportunity, why would you? Why would you have watched it? Because I don't even think there's a full version of it anywhere on streaming or something. I guess this is kind of it. I feel like if you don't know about this by now, you're never gonna know about it. But anyway, it happened. An interview with Oprah and Meghan and Harry, and it was fine. But the interesting stuff is the documentary 1. 2, I thought there was another documentary going to be made, but I think TikTok just clickbaited me. And then 3 is the Anderson Cooper 60 Minutes interview. I was trying to find it on Paramount because they said it was going to air on Paramount 60 Minutes. And I tried finding it. And I think I tried looking for it on, like, Sunday. I didn't see it. And I've been waiting for it to air so I could go watch it. I would love to react to that on stream if that's possible. I don't know if it is, but that would be cool. Let's see. It's out. This is something I would love to watch. But this is something that's so copyright. I would imagine this is super copyright protected. But maybe on, like, a Patreon episode, that would be really cool. Not that I own a Patreon, I'm just, like, speaking out of my asshole. But that would be really cool. Okay. Well, yeah, I think I've given you the whole scoop. My life is just, this is my life. I've given you the whole scoop on life. I feel like that's all I have to offer. Do you love these or do you not love these? Or do you love these? You have to love these. This is not an optional choice question. These are amazing. Look how big they are. Like, look at my thumb. I have a big bad thumb. This thing is big and bad. My aunt gave these to me. And context on my aunt owned like a fashion line that sold at Nordstrom and stuff. Like, it was a professional fashion line, very small business, of crocheted sweaters. And like, she did fashion week and all these things. I think it's typical for fashion designers to do all those things, but as a child I was like, oh, you went to fashion week? I love Kendall Jenner. That's amazing. So yeah, I'm obsessed with her. She's a diva. She's an icon. My aunt's an icon. But anyway, she had a lot of friends that own jewelry businesses. So even though I don't know this for 100%, I'm going to assume that she got these earrings from a friends of hers who made jewelry. And then she gave these to me for Christmas. And they're beautiful. I've gone to estate sales, bought earrings that look very similar to these, but like the pearl is much smaller. And these are a gorgeous, huge oval or like flat shaped circular pearl, and they're pink tinted or like a purplish pinkish color, and they're iridescent. They're gorgeous. I wore these yesterday and I didn't have to take them off because they were comfortable to sleep in, and they're beautiful and I love them. So thank you. Oh my god, they're beautiful. But other than that, we've done everything. We've talked about everything. I don't want you to look at this. Okay. Move the cannon. If you don't know what that picture is, it's from Rosario X Vampire. If you've never watched that show, you don't know what life is. You don't know anything. Sorry, it's true. It's like the only harem that ever has mattered in the existence of harems. But anyway, that's it. That's all I got. You guys have gotten the whole scoop, the whole spiel, the whole shebongle. I'm back in film school. I just had my first class of the month today. We are doing, let's see what class we're on. I think it's like script analysis and coverage. So we're going to be doing coverage work this month. And if you don't know what coverage is, it's like summarizing scripts. I think the first script that I'm reading is The Babadook. The first assignment of the month was to watch Groundhog Day. I watched it. It was great. I have to write a log line for it, and that's my first assignment of the day. And then I have to read the screenplay for The Babadook. Or The Matrix. Utilizing the techniques learned, students will submit their breakdowns of a feature-length film screened in class. Use the link below to access the film. So we're gonna watch The Matrix in class. I don't like The Matrix, but I tried watching it once, and then I kind of like was not paying attention while I was watching it. So it's probably a good idea for me to watch it again. But when I did watch it, I didn't like it, so I'm sad that it's not The Babadook. And then my other assignment is to read a feature screenplay attached and identify the protagonist's objective, submit the description and the objective. And it's on The Babadook. And I'm very excited because I like The Babadook a lot. Oh, my mom's calling. Bye. I hope you didn't hear that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a good one.